Hey, this is Dr. Darwin, a new dentist coach with another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin. Today, we're going to be talking about teledentistry and mobile dentistry, especially in the midst of COVID-19 and in the midst of this popular modality that a lot of people are not only looking into right now, but have been looking into for many, many years. So today we're going to have a presentation. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to have a presentation by Kare and talk a little bit about their platform and what they're doing right now that's really transforming how dentists are practicing oral health care, not only in their offices, but also remotely. And be sure, you guys that are listening, be sure to tune in to this podcast show. We're going to be giving away some good information. Giving away some good information on a weekly basis. We've been bringing information, especially information that's very vital to how we practice dentistry nationwide. So be sure to subscribe down below here at my YouTube channel, Dr. Darwin Speaks, so you can see this full video, but also share it with friends, share it with people and other professionals. Sharing is caring. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about mobile dentistry, teledentistry, and I want to introduce Dr. Kwane Watson of Kare Mobile and his team. He's also partnering up with Dental Whale. That's right, Dental Whale.
Yep.
And we're going to hear a little bit about how that partnership has transformed his practice and the way that he's practicing dentistry. So Dr. Watson and Brittany, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead from there.
Awesome. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Kwane Watson. I've been the CEO of Kare Mobile now for 2.5 years. I've been a practicing dentist it'll be 21 years in May. It's crazy how time flies. So my business partner, Brittany Becker, is also on the line, as well as an advisor, Scott Mortier of Dental Whale. And so we're going to hop right into our presentation about Kare Mobile, and then we'll field some questions.
Kare Mobile provides comprehensive dental care to you whenever you need it. We will come to your work, school, or even your driveway. We can do anything in our mobile units that we do in an office. Things such as cleanings, root canals, extractions, dentures, partials, even orthodontics. Can you imagine never having to spend half of your day in a dental waiting room ever again? We accept most insurances as well as providing financing options, and there is no extra charge for us coming to you. Convenient, cost-effective, comprehensive, Kare Mobile.
So that's a little snippet video about what we do with Kare Mobile. We come to your home, to your work, to your school, wherever you need comprehensive care, we come to you and provide that. Our business grew out of an idea of, hey, I wonder if people will be willing to do all their work in their driveway. I have another business. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had multiple different entities, and one of my businesses is a medical transportation company. And so we converted an existing van that I had into our first mobile dental unit. After we saw the response from the patients on how much they enjoyed actually having their service brought to them and never having to wait in the waiting room again, we decided to modify our plan to one that would be more easily and readily scalable. But to go back to why we did what we did, we must start on why not just do another brick and mortar practice. We all know what's going on with COVID-19 and how that's affected the economy. But for me, as an individual, I've been practicing since 1999. During that period of time, I've had to deal with 9/11 in 2001 and how that affected the economy. I built a satellite office in 07, 08, right in the middle of the financial crisis. And now we have COVID-19 that's going to wreck the economy again. So every 7 to 10 years or 12 years, we're we're having some sort of emergency that's impacting our businesses. And so for me at this particular time, being 47 years old, I didn't want to spend another $500,000 plus on another brick and mortar practice. So if I was going to be able to treat my patients, I wanted to be able to do it in a more cost-effective way with less overhead. This right here is an actual slide that shows 3 reasons why I went mobile this time. Number one, my business partner of 20 plus years was ready to retire back in 2017 when I sold my second brick and mortar practice. I did not feel comfortable after she was ready to retire going into debt and trying to go it alone with the DSOs and all the big organizations trying to compete with them without having at least one partner at my side. The younger doctors that I employ as associates, none of them wanted to buy practices. They just wanted to associate. And now with their greater student loan debt, a lot of them financially don't feel comfortable taking on the debt of practice ownership, and they want guaranteed salaries where I was used to paying them on a percentage basis. And then the third reason, after I sold my practice to a corporate entity and worked for them for a number of years, I missed the autonomy that I had as a practice owner. So those are the 3 reasons why we started the Kare Mobile aspect of our business. And Brittany, I'm gonna have you go to the next slide. The next reason why we started is, of course, the cost. So this right here is a 5-year fixed cost comparison between a conventional brick and mortar practice and our mobile platform. If you see on the left, the average startup cost for a practice is $500,000 plus. If you include in there your fixed lease cost of $300,000 over 5 years based on $5,000 a month, and you include a utility cost over that 5 years of $21,000, your total cost is $821,000 over 5 years. Taking into consideration that you bring in on average $870,000 a year as a single provider, maybe one hygienist in that practice, your return on that investment is roughly 530%. Conversely, in a mobile platform like ours, we believe we can create you a completely outfitted mobile dental unit for $150,000 or less. If you include the gas price, because you don't have utilities to be concerned about, or lease costs, and if you look at a reduced revenue of only $420,000 annually, your return on that investment is over 1,200%. Now, I might not be a mathematician, but simple math tells me that 1,200% is a lot better than 530%. Brittany, the next slide. And so as I mentioned previously, our first van that we created was generator power. We built it ourselves. We just wanted to see if people would actually enjoy being seen in a mobile format. After we realized that people really enjoyed it and that we had something here, we decided to make an upgraded model. This is the Kare Van 2.0. This van is similar to the Amazon Prime vans you see all over town in your prospective city. It's a single operatory unit. Instead of it being generator powered, it's powered by an inverter system. So all you have to do is press a button and everything comes on. The chair is stationary, but every other aspect of it is portable, which allows you still flexibility if you want to take your equipment inside of certain nursing homes, schools, whatever the case may be. Brittany, next slide. So Kare, everybody knows what Kare about because of the mobile platform, but Kare actually started as a mobile application. We created an application that connects patients to dentists for same-day treatment. The connections were based on the location, the procedure the patient wished to have done, and the skill set of the doctor, the insurance that the patient had, and the doctor's availability at that time. The goal of our application was to reduce the no-show rate for the Medicaid population, which a lot of people in this call, I'm sure, see some Medicaid, as well as increase efficiency for the patient who sometimes is in pain and goes to an office where the provider really does not have the skill set to perform the procedure. Currently, we use our application as a registration tool for everyone that wants to be seen on our mobile dental unit because we're paperless on our mobile dental unit. It's also still used as a connector for patients that wish to be seen for same-day treatment on our mobile dental unit as well. And so basically, we beta tested this application just in the Kentucky market. And we've had over 1,000 plus downloads and several, like 800 active users at this particular time. Next slide. Brittany.
So when we were on this mobile unit, one of the regulations in the state of Kentucky is that the doctor, the assistant, anyone on this unit while we're taking x-rays has to wear a lead apron. Well, that's not the most easy thing to do or comfortable thing to do, to constantly be taking on and off a lead apron while we're taking x-rays, especially when doc's doing a root canal and has to take multiple x-rays throughout the procedure. So we came up with the idea, Dr. Watson did, that we have a personal protective jacket that is lined with radiation protection. It meets all of the OSHA requirements for PPE. It weighs 4 pounds, but it only feels like 1.5 because you're wearing it as a jacket as opposed to a lead apron that's kind of hanging off at you funny. We've got a patent pending on it, and it's FDA registered. We started it out with a retail price of $398. You can see, if you can see the screen, pictures of Dr. Watson actually wearing it and using it, but it is completely OSHA, good for everything, blood, saliva, radiation, and the radiation part can be taken out so the jacket can be laundered just like regular PPE.
And we collaborated with Deborah Carrier of Twice as Nice Uniforms. She is a dental hygienist that started her own dental scrub apparel company about 5 years ago. She's always at the NDA and ADA and all the conventions. And we have a 50-50 collaboration, and she's manufacturing this product on our behalf. And we look forward to your support, because even if you have a brick and mortar practice, there's a lot of times where your assistant does not leave the room when they're taking the x-rays. Or if you have pregnant employees, this product would be beneficial for them to wear to reduce their exposure to radiation. Go ahead, Brittany.
And so we wanted to test the jacket to make sure that we are actually reducing the exposure. And so we did a very high exposure test with the jacket, with the dosimeter, and through the jacket, we were detected at 1.29 millisieverts, which is practically nothing. And then we did it without the jacket, that same amount of radiation exposure, it was 129.2 millisieverts. So it shows you that less than 1% of the radiation is actually penetrating the jacket, and that's at 2.5 times the annual occupational dose limits. So it looks good, but it's actually very effective.
You can actually go on the Twice as Nice uniform website if you would like to pre-order the jackets. We've probably already sold about 25 to 30 of them when we presented at the National Mobile Dental Conference a month ago. We will continue pre-orders for another couple of months before we reassess pricing now that everything's changed in the economy. I also want to take a moment here to introduce Scott Mortier from DentalWell. I've been familiar with DentalWell since the Trelongo days. 5+ years ago, I had looked at actually being a part of that organization, and I went out to their conference in Vegas this past summer and was just blown away by how much they've grown, by how much they've innovated. And a lot of times us as providers, we like to go out here and we want to have our autonomy, but we need to collaborate with someone so that we can experience the benefits of savings of combined pricing, outsourcing certain things to reduce our overhead of our practices. And so I've been fortunate to work with Scott and their team and David on creating a model for our Kare Mobile licensees in the future. So Scott, I'm gonna let you have the floor.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kwan. For those of you listening today that are not familiar with Dental Whale, Dental Whale is the parent company of 16 individual consulting, education, and service brands within dentistry that can currently provides outsourcing one of those functions to over 18,000 dental practices nationwide. So what that means, not just to the individual private dentist, but what it means to the mobile dentist is that you're able to rent services from us that you ordinarily could not provide. Have DSO style services available at your fingertips. So you can hire us to, schedule appointments. You can hire us to answer your phones. You can hire us to, handle your insurance verification or collect on your AR. You can have us do your marketing. You can join our savings network, which is our GPO-like buying group with 1,000+ doctors buying supplies, labs, and other services together every month from very well-known companies within dentistry. You can fix your equipment with Dental Fix, which is the nation's largest dental equipment service and repair franchise, which is a Dental Whale brand. So the mobile dentist is now able to focus on what they do best, going from appointment to appointment, providing excellent care without having to worry about the business functions being executed. And as Kwane and his partners and begins growing the number of Kare mobile vans on the road, what we literally do is provide him with scalability and provide his partners with deep discounts on these services while providing, excellent functions.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. And so instead of going to info@kare.mobile, if you have any questions regarding Kare, how you can be a part, we would like you to actually email me personally at Kwane, Kwane, @kare.mobi. Our website, www.kare.mobile, will be a great resource for you if you would like to learn more about how you can become a licensed care provider and just more about us as a company and a brand. We're going to open it up now for questions. I would love to the other two doctors that joined to introduce themselves so we can then have a candid discussion on how we can help each other grow and make it through these difficult times. Darwin?
Yeah, thanks so much. And a great presentation, great information. And I think it's timely given what a lot of practices are going through and ways that they can use teledentistry in a different modality. So, one of the other reasons why we wanted to kind of share this information is that my colleagues, Dr. Cook and Dr. Williams, had some questions. And like many doctors are doing right now, we are kind of talking and among ourselves about the nature of dentistry as we currently practice it and ways that we can help each other and be resources to one another regarding maybe some new ideas or ways that others are collaborating or actually impacting the market. So this really was for Dr. Cook and Dr. Williams to be able to hear about what you've been doing, Dr. Watson. And we just kind of are expanding it from here. So I know Dr. Cook has some questions. I know Dr. Williams has some questions as well. So this will be a good opportunity to do a little Q&A. And we'll start off with it, and we'll probably have to do a part 2 with it within the next 3 minutes or so.
Awesome. All right.
So let's do the first question now.
So good morning. I am Dr. Kathy Cook. I am a practice owner. I have 2 practices in Columbus, Georgia. Been practicing since 1998. Had a myriad of dental experiences from the military to be an associate and now a business owner since 2008. I too have seen all the trends, changes. I'm a Medicaid provider for a lot of practice. Dentist, I'm able to provide a lot of services inside my practice. I'm curious about the Kare Mobile concept because as I reach an age thinking about retirement or the next facet of it, I know that I don't want to be chairside in a 6-chair story for another 20 years. And so I wanted to look at the potential profit margin in a fixed bricks and mortar practice. We production goals based on what we need to hear over what we spend. Dentistry, high overheads. It's about that planning. How do you plan when you can only see a patient at a time versus 6 at a time? I have 3 docs and 3 hygienists between the 2 practices, but how do you go about kind of setting up some production goals so that you can still support yourself, the salary that life?
Okay, so kind of broke up a little bit, but I got the gist of what your question was. Question number 1 is, how do we coordinate our day? I do it just like my general practice when I own 2 as well. Basically, when patients call us to make an appointment, we have a 1-800 number that you saw. We have schedulers, like Scott said. We use their company to actually outsource some of the scheduling of it because I don't own a brick and mortar anymore. So the key for me is keeping my overhead low. We have a 1 doctor, 1 assistant model. So I only have 1 staff member that's on salary for me. Okay, everyone else is on a percentage basis based on, so my call center and my revenue cycle management. We have our schedule just like anybody else. We have our huddles in the morning. We have our projection and our route already planned out in advance, and we go out there and execute. We sometimes, though, see multiple people in one location because we have a contract with Papa John's corporate headquarters as well, where we go see a multitude of patients in one location. We're gonna have to restart because we're running out of time on this.
Yeah, so we're gonna. So those that are listening, go on to part 2 of this podcast, so you'll be able to listen to more. We're gonna continue with the Q&A. Thanks.